Caleb Porter, head coach of the New England Revolution. Caleb, good afternoon.
Airs and sunshine. That was a good intro.
Yeah, I disagree, but you and McCone love it. So
coming to Fenway this summer, Darius.
Good for you guys.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Hey, before we get to the trip to Mexico and that, you kind of called your shot last time you were on air with us. Did you get any kickback for that? I know you said we're going to beat Charlotte. You ended up doing it. I know it was said in jest, but maybe you should call your shot again here before the New York game.
Yeah, I don't usually do that. I use the word promise.
Yeah.
I was more just saying we're going to get the win, guys. But whatever. I've done this long enough. I don't really care what anybody says or thinks before or after the game. I'm focused on winning every game and doing the best I can all the time. And I do believe in my group. And if I have to show my belief in them publicly, then I'll do it.
You've got New York City FC coming up on Saturday night. Every time we used to talk to Bruce Arena about going and playing at Yankee Stadium, he talked about how much he disliked it. Didn't like the small field. He didn't like the weird angles there. Some of the sight lines, I think he said, were strange there. Patches over the infield at this time of year. What do you make of playing at that place?
Yeah, it's different. There's no doubt about it. I mean, our game isn't meant to play in an outfield of a baseball stadium. It's kind of cool. You're in Yankee Stadium, but, it's just the orientation of the pitch is weird, the spatial awareness of it all. It's a postage stamp size. It's very narrow. So there's zero width. And, in our game, you need width, and there's not much width in the game. Like you said, they sod the outfield, so one half is kind of a little bit soggy, I would call it. There's little peculiarities in our league and different stadiums, and you just got to manage it, you got to find a way. It's both teams playing in it, and, you got to find a way to get it done regardless.
Long trip back from Mexico. Things didn't go the way you wanted down there, but you got 2 nice goals there at the end. How much do you have to take care of guys' legs? And I know it's still early in the year, but getting back on the road, got to play in New York. How did the flight affect those guys on the way back? That's a long one. I've done it.
Well, after we lost the first leg 4-0, we knew our chances of advancing would be very slim. So you probably saw we rotated and played all reserves in the game. We looked at it as an opportunity, to see where our depth is at. And then that meant that we'd be now fresh for the Saturday game. So we prioritize the league. And you saw in the last game against Charlotte, we prioritized the league. From here on out, it's 100% the league. So, yeah, we got our butts kicked. That wasn't surprising. They're a very good team with an $85 million budget. And we played reserves in the game. And the good news is it was 2-2 in the second half. We inserted some of our top players, and we found a couple goals. So that group that played against Charlotte, actually, they gained even more confidence because they came into the game, and the second half was a tie in the game.
Well, as you said, it's all about the league right now. Points in the last couple of games. Are you starting to feel things head in the right direction? Yeah. Last 2 league games we've drew and we've won, and now we're 100% focused on it. So we have, I think it's the next 7 weeks, we have a week of preparation and then the game. So I'm really looking forward to having a real process, where we can prepare, we can play a game, we can reflect on the game, we can correct, we can train again, and then prepare again. So that's a normal process. We haven't been able to do that the entire season, and I think you'll see a lot more continuity in our lineup. You'll see a lot more consistency in our performances, and I think you'll see a lot more points too.
Next home game for you guys, certainly a game that plenty of fans have had circled, 60,000 plus tickets sold. It feels like it's trending in the direction where Messi's going to make that trip. Is that a game you guys have had circled too?
I think coaches, we have all of them circled because every point, as cliche as it sounds, is the same. So. But it's cool. It's very cool to have a Suarez and a Messi and a Busquets and a Jordi Alba.
you have three players from the golden generation in Barcelona, one of the best teams, in maybe the history of our game. One of my favorite teams, ever was with those guys, and obviously the greatest player, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time, in Messi. So it's cool, but I don't get nostalgic over anyone or any team. This is one of those where my kids have to tell me after the game, well, that was cool. And I'm like, I just want to win, and so, when we go in the match, I'm not going to be thinking about Messi. I don't care. I want to win the game. That's it.
Masters teed off today. How's your golf game? Any good?
No, I'm not a good golfer. I've tried, I'm not real patient. I don't have much time to become good. Show me a coach that's a good golfer, show me a losing coach. But every once in a while I'll hack it up and, maybe play 6 holes. I think 6 holes is good for me when I get to
that. It's a good number.
Yeah, more than that. Yeah. I'm bad in the first 2, then I start to get good, and then I get bad maybe in the 6th hole, and then I quit.
I could tell you which coaches are good golfers. It's the NHL guys.
Oh, God, yeah.
The hockey players are all ridiculous golfers.
Because of the swing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to what they do, and
Translate.
they have the summers off, and they have it. They just have that golf thing down. Some NFL guys, they use that May, June, early July time off to be good, but you don't have that luxury.
No, we have the longest season in pro sports. So it's crazy. There's not much time. The only time I get is like maybe a couple weeks over Christmas when it's snowing, typically where I've been living. But yeah, the year off I did try to play. My goal was to be good at golf, and it didn't work out very well.
Do guys on a team golf? Like I don't see a lot of guys at tournaments. Do they? Okay.
Yeah, the American guys are pretty good. Like you said, the guys that are good athletes, grew up playing other sports, they're typically good. I was primarily a soccer guy, and like you said, I don't have great eye-hand coordination. If I could kick the ball, I think I'd do a lot better if I just kick it off the tee, actually. Toe poke it. I could maybe get 150 yards.
I'd incorporate that.
More accurate. Or have you ever played foot golf? That's pretty cool. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I've seen the disc golf. I've never seen foot golf.
Yeah, so there's actually similar foot golf with actually a hole that you kick the ball off the tee and you roll it in the hole. So actually you're starting to see more of those around. Clearly you guys haven't played it.
Well, we haven't. We don't play much.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. What are you the biggest fan of outside of soccer?
Last year, I'm sure you guys heard I had cancer. And for about 3-4 months, I was in the house recovering. And I started studying NFL just because it was like a interesting sport for me to just follow. And I'd watch all the pundits all day talk about it. And I just found it really interesting just to get into it. And I started following it. So I would say the NFL for me.
Yeah, keep listening to Zoe and listening to this show. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, we'll help. We'll hook you up.
Exactly.
All right, Caleb.
Exactly.
Caleb, next time we talk to you, we'll have a take ready to go on who the Patriots should draft at 3. All right.
Okay.
Study up the quarterback.
Ask your owner.
That too.
Yeah. I will. That sounds good. Thanks for the time. Take care.
See you, Caleb.
All right, Caleb. Caleb Porter, Revolution head coach.